And welcome back to your Kingsport ChamberZone on locations from Ridgefields Country Club.
So I know that many of the people in our audience have heard of the Meals on Wheels program. It is a wonderful program that cooks and delivers meals 5 days a week to those who are not able to get out and get the meals themselves. A great organization that can always use a great number of new hands, and here to tell us more about it is Dave Lunceford. Dave is a volunteer with Meals on Wheels as well as vice president of its board. And so Dave, your first time on the Kingsport ChamberZone, we're so excited to have you.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, and always happy to talk about Meals on Wheels. And Meals on Wheels began in Kingsport in 1972, where three ladies saw a need for some of our isolated, incapacitated, and disabled people. And so we started it then, and thanks today to the people at First Presbyterian Church and Waverly Road Presbyterian Church allow us to come in and use their kitchen facilities at no charge, and allows us to use our 500 volunteers to provide these meals.
That's great.
Well, speaking of volunteers, it's important to note that you are all volunteer driven. There are no paid staff. So talk about that for a moment and the great work that your volunteers do.
Yes, we're very fortunate to be able to offer these meals, and it has really helped us as far as making good use of our budget. Our meals cost is like $2.61
It's amazing.
per meal, which is remarkable. We serve 222 meals per day, 5 days a week. And the past few years, we've served 56,000 meals per year, all with volunteers. And we do have clerical support through United Way.
And when you hear 500 volunteers, you think, oh, that's an army. But actually, it's not when you consider the number of meals that you're doing. So talk a little bit about what the volunteers are expected to do and how someone might be able to volunteer with the organization.
Well, we have needs in cooks, and we have cooking teams each day, and they consist of 3 to 4 people.
Do they get to wear the fun chef hats?
No.
I mean, I'd still volunteer to
That's
cook.
right,
We have to wear the nice aprons.
That's right. The chef's aprons, there you go.
Yeah, but and then our biggest need is for drivers. We have 14 routes, and so you need at least 14 people, but a lot of times we have teams. So we probably have somewhere in the neighborhood of probably close to 30 drivers a day. And you look at every day of the month, that's a lot of people. And sometimes, people can't do it. But we ask people for 1 day a month.
Okay.
And we try to set that day according to what is best for your schedule. Like I do a second Tuesday, and that second Tuesday every month is mine. And if you're going to cook, it takes about 2 hours of your time. And then if you're driving, about an hour and a half.
And what time do you start if you're going to be doing either one of those?
If you're going to be cooking, you start around 8:30, and if you're driving, you come in and pick up your meals around 10:15 to 10:30.
Okay.
And we've done it, and it does take about an hour, hour and a half. And usually it's about anywhere from 12 to 15 households you're delivering to?
Sometimes 14 to 16.
14 to 16, okay.
We try not to have the route more than 20 people, and we try to do it to where you can deliver the meals in 1 hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's important to note, most of your volunteers, or a good number of them, are retirees, but you also utilize a number of businesses and companies that allow their employees to take that hour off during the day, 1 day a month, during their lunch break, their lunchtime, to help deliver meals. I know the Kingsport Chamber does that, and our entire staff has helped with that. So talk about that and how businesses can get involved with that.
Absolutely. We're trying to encourage more businesses to get involved, and we do have several, including the Chamber, that support us, and it's necessary for us to get it done. And they take about an hour to deliver, and they're away from work maybe an hour and a half. So the employers basically give them the freedom to do that, and we are making ourselves available to businesses or whatever to come and talk about that and talk about the organization and our needs. So we would welcome more, and we would like to see more young people get involved. We have some young mothers who want to be involved and have asked, can we bring our children? Of course you
yeah.
can. It's a good experience for them as well.
Sure.
Well, I mentioned to you off air that my mother did that for years, and that's how I got first acquainted with Meals on Wheels. I would go with her when she was delivering, so it's a good way for children to learn. And in addition to volunteers, you're also in need of donations as well, monetary donations. Talk about how important that is to your work.
It is. We're very fortunate to have good support here in the community, and especially with the support that we get to United Way. And United Way provides the majority of our budget needs. And we're very thankful for that. We do get individual contributions that help, and United Way does provide for us some clerical support. And so if anyone is interested, they can call the United Way office. I think it's 247-4511. And so we're very fortunate. We're not dependent on anyone other than the people in the community. And we encourage people to continue their great support for United Way.
I was going to say, if there's an area to be dependent on the community, Kingsport's a great one to,
It is,
to
it
do
is,
that.
yes. And United Way helps a lot of organizations.
Sure,
yes.
absolutely. Dave, if someone out there knows a person who might benefit from Meals on Wheels, how do they get that person on the list?
Well, basically, call the United Way office,
Okay.
and they will take the name. Then we will send a nurse out to the applicant, and basically trying to understand better their needs and if there's any dietary restrictions or anything like that. If it is somebody that's volunteering, they leave their name there, and then that will come to us, the board or our volunteer committee, and we will get in touch with them and tell them about what we're looking for and try to arrange a time that's suitable with their schedule.
Okay.
Dave, tell us why Meals on Wheels is so important, not only for those you serve, but also for the volunteers, because it is a very rewarding experience.
It is.
Yeah.
You have to really experience it and see the. I know it's so wonderful to see the smiles on the recipients when you come and see them, and a lot of times it's the only visit they get that day, and it's just very rewarding. And I just encourage anyone that wants to do it to come and try it and see what your rewards are, and also see the benefits that from the people we serve as well.
Absolutely. Dave, please remind our viewers one more time, if they want more information about Meals on Wheels, where do they get that?
Best way is to call United Way,
Okay.
and the number is 247-4511.
Right.
Or if you know someone who is volunteering, ask them.
Right.
Yes.
Well, Dave Lunceford with Meals on Wheels, thank you so much for joining us today, and thanks for all that you and this great organization are doing in our community.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity.
Okay.
Thank you, Dave. Stay tuned. We'll have more of your CZ right after this.
Your Kingsport Chamber Golf Scramble tees off Monday, May 8th at Ridgefields. Tee times are at 9 a.m. or 2 p.m. with great awards and whole prizes. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner provided. Enjoy playing this Donald Ross masterpiece and support your Kingsport Chamber. Contact your Kingsport Chamber at 392-8800 or go to kingsportchamber.org. Your Kingsport Chamber Golf Scramble, Monday, May 8th at Ridgefields. Sponsored by Food City, Pepsi, Hunter Smith Davis, Texas Roadhouse, and Spectrum Reach.